Hi everyone. I recently got into a very lively debate with a news reporter from 12 News named Kevin Kennedy, works for NBC, and I'd like to discuss this quandary we're in, this problem where you have a president who's always lying, calling a media that spreads propaganda fake news. So it's a liar calling a semi liar fake news. So it really puts us in a tough place. Like, who do we trust? And today I want to discuss just the media itself, because if you trust Donald Trump, you shouldn't even be watching this, because he is a fraud in every way: business, political, any way you can think of it, just a phony. But the news, the establishment news, when I say that, I'm talking about the Washington Post, the New York Times, the Wall Street Journal, CNN, Fox News, MSNBC, any of the major news outlets that are owned by the six corporations that own all of our media, or about 90% of our media. So I want to give you a few examples of why you cannot trust the establishment news. The establishment news relies on authorities. They have a neoliberal bias, but an establishment bias, kind of neoconservative as well. They are arms of the elite and arms of the two-party system, and the arms of the deep state that runs our government as well. So they cannot be trusted in any way. So do not rely on them for information in this crucial time in our history. And here are a few reasons why. I can give you several examples. Okay, so in 2014, after Michael Brown was shot by Darren Wilson, we were holding Black Lives Matter marches in Arizona. And during this march, the first half of it, we walked by some galleries, some art galleries, and a young African American kid threw a rock through one of the windows, broke a window. So later on, during the march, we went by a bar. We didn't go inside of it or anything. We were just marching past it, and two white guys come out and start yelling, we support Darren Wilson, and they were being very pro-cop, talking all sorts of crap to the protesters, walking through, bumping people. So they go away. A few moments later, they run towards the group and start throwing punches. They punched a girl named Emily. They punched a girl named Brooke. They punched a big guy as well. We started coming towards them. They backed off, started running off. Cops show up, and they arrest the guys for disorderly. They arrest the young African American kid for breaking the window. Well, the news doesn't even report on the assaults on women by pro-cop drunks, white Scottsdale kids. But later we find out that those two were involved in the Steubenville rape. One of them, Matthew Bellardine, was the only adult at the videotaping of a gang rape by a football team on a young woman. And the New Times was the only one who actually reported that. 12 News, Channel 10, which is Fox affiliate, ABC 15, none of them covered the story about women being assaulted by pro-cop rapists, but they focused only on the young African American kid to tell a story that Black Lives Matter is dangerous, that young black men are dangerous. That was the narrative they were going with. They went even so far to do a follow-up story with his father, who was a pastor, and to shame him for raising such a degenerate son. I mean, wow, he broke a window. It's not like he was part of a gang rape or beating women at a protest, but that was what they focused on. Another case is the way they've covered Trump's immigration policy. It's horrible. We all, all of us agree that, splitting up families is wrong. That there should be a path to citizenship. People should not be deported for contacting police if they're reporting a crime. And they're holding Trump accountable to this to a degree. But when it was Barack Obama who deported more people than any other president in U.S. history, they remained pretty silent about it. And that's because they are an establishment arm, and they are primarily neoliberal elites that run the media in this country. Another example would be the way that they've covered war as well. With Bush, they were really hitting him hard on being a warmonger. But then Obama comes in office and he's bombing 7 countries. He's selling twice as many arms to foreign governments than Bush did. And he's droning, 50 times as many people. He actually assassinated 2 U.S. citizens. And they just let it slide when it's their guy in office. So you can't trust the neoliberal establishment at all. So, if you want to go to good sources, go to Democracy Now! Or The Intercept. If you want establishment stuff, go to The Guardian, The Chicago Tribune. There's some great journalists out there like Abby Martin, Greg Palast, Anna Kasparian of the Young Turks, Jordan of the Young Turks, Clara Spurnish of the Anti-Media, Munar Muawesh of Mint Press News, Jeremy Scahill of The Intercept, Glenn Greenwald of The Intercept. There's just Ta-Nehisi Coates of The Atlantic, Sean King of the New York Daily News. There's a lot of people you can trust, but the Anderson Coopers, the Don Lemons, the Brett Baiers, the Rachel Maddows, the Chris Hayes, these are all people who are enemies of truth. They will say whatever is for their candidate and for their established principles. They want everything to they don't want anything to really change, except they want to win. And they want the rich to stay rich. They want the people in office to stay in office, and they want to keep making millions of dollars spewing propaganda. They're picking out the facts that tell their story. There's a reason they didn't focus on Dakota Access Pipeline when they should have, because it's money. So do not trust the corporate establishment news or the police or your government. Love you guys. Have a good day. Bye.